it's not only true that all of these people said terrible things about Trump. Trump said terrible things about all of these people.
Hmm.
He belittled the looks of Ted Cruz's wife. He associated Ted Cruz's father with the murder of JFK.
Yeah.
In response to Romney's criticism, he made a crude reference to Romney being on his knees in front of him when he begged for money. I mean, so I honestly don't. I like your charitable interpretation. Um, which would apply to Mitt Romney, but I am cynical enough about politicians, and I've seen this so often um, that I think a useful baseline default is just to assume that people don't mean what they say in that realm,
Hmm.
and that there's a high level of personal ambition and power. I mean, I've had these discussions with people who say, look, Trump is not going to be motivated in order to make more money. He has plenty of money. Why would he ever want to make more money? And it's true for the person saying it,
Hmm.
$1 million would be enough. But other people work different ways. I would suspect that. I mean, again, you may be right, but I would suspect that Mitt Romney, a politician, and in some way, to be fair, in all accounts, a decent man. I think who comported himself very well when he was running for office. Really wants to have an incredibly powerful political position. And if he's not Secretary of State, he's consigned into irrelevance. And so I could really see that this is the sort of thing that one might sell your soul over. I
It's
have to say,
interesting.
since we're kind of trashing people, or at least I am in this way. I have to say, in the whole miserable 2016 election season, some people acquitted themselves very well, and I'm thinking particularly of conservative pundits and intellectuals
Yeah.
like Jonah Goldberg and Bill Kristol,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
um who recognize they in all regards behave like people of principle, where they have conservative principles. They recognize Trump accorded with none of them, and they broke with the Republican Party and with a lot of their Twitter followers and friends and fans to point out what a narcissistic buffoon Trump was, and they've paid a price. And so it's a sort of of all the awfulness, it has demonstrated that people can show integrity in certain ways, and it's been a good sign. I got to say, as somebody who's developed much of his career arguing that people are basically rational, and we have rational powers and rational capacities, and we are ultimately creatures of reason. This this has been a rough election season. This has
Yeah.
been this has been, for somebody saying how smart people basically are and fundamentally good and fundamentally reasonable. This is as close to falsification that I've ever experienced. But I'll make one point, which actually comes out in some extent as a response to people I respect a lot, like John Haidt, who point out our political weirdnesses as examples of our fundamental irrationality. And the point I want to make is we're at our very worst when it comes to national politics. If you want to see people being outrageously stupid, check here.